What's up, folks, and welcome to Indie Showcase. And welcome to one of the most surprising titles I've played this year. I didn't even know that this existed until about 2 days before it came out. And I got code for it, and I ended up streaming it the other night, and I knew I wanted to make a video out of it as well, because, yeah, this one really surprised me in a good way. So this is Nuclear Blaze, as you can see, and, well, it's a firefighting game. It's actually a firefighting sort of narrative adventure game. And firefighting games have always interested me because there don't tend to be that many of them. But the ones that do come out always tend to use the idea in interesting ways and have sort of interesting and cool mechanics. So when I saw it was one of those, I already wanted to try it. Then I found out it was developed by the guy who originally created and was the lead designer of Dead Cells, which is one of my favorite roguelites ever. This is not a roguelite, not at all, in fact. It's a sort of one-and-done narrative experience. It's actually relatively short, but it's really, really cool. It really surprised me in a cool way, and I wanted to show it to you guys. So it's actually kind of cool. It actually has a kid mode in it, which is a basically a stripped-down version of the game that's specifically designed for kids. The game gets extremely easy, and you get very specific objectives not tied to the story. You can see the explanation there. I think that's kind of cool. And it actually has a lot of different difficulty options. Even game journalists could probably get through this. Yeah, I don't care if that was a low blow. And yeah, there's lots of different options here that you can set, but the default is what I played it through, and definitely what I would recommend most people play it through as well. It's challenging in spots, but not overly so. Like, this is something an experienced gamer would have no problem getting through. So I'm starting this right from the beginning, partially because I don't want to spoil it, and partially just because, yeah, these levels are very puzzle-based in the sense that they can be beaten in multiple different ways, but they sort of have a core solution that I don't really want to give away. So I'm going to show you here. I can show you the core elements of this at the beginning. So you're this little firefighter dude, and as you can see, you got a hose. You press the button to put out fires, and you have a water tank limit there in the right corner. And throughout the various levels, there will be points where you can recharge your water tank, and those are unlimited. So here's one right here. See this little sort of water thing in the wall? You just stand near it, and you telepathically get water. Don't ask. I wish it was that easy. And your goal is to get through each level, putting out all of the fires, and getting yourself to the next area, and, well, getting further into this facility that I'm heading into right now. I'm not going to spoil anything about this. The story in this game is not very complicated, and I'm going to just say it's heavily inspired by a... how do I put this? By a popular website that hosts a lot of paranormal sort of fan fiction stories. Let's put it that way. Some of you are probably going to know what I'm talking about. If not, and you're familiar with the place, once you start playing the story, you're going to know what I mean. Very heavily inspired by that. It's a cool story, but it is actually kind of neat, but narratively it's nothing crazy revolutionary, and I will say that I do wish it ended a little better than it did. But honest to God, my chief complaint when I finished this game was, that's it? Why isn't there more of this? Because I was having so much fun. And even games that I like, I rarely will say things like that about. I think that's what's impressive about this one. So I'll go into that a little bit more. So you'll see I'm fighting the fires here, and you see when you clear all the fire out of a level, the color changes, you get that little victory tone, and off you go. Now you may have seen that little kitten up there before. Oh yes, we're going to get to that. Hello. So every level in the game has a kitten that you can find and rescue. They're hidden in secret areas. The initial few are not hard to find, but they get quite a bit harder after that. If you get all the kittens, you get something special at the end. I didn't rescue them all, so I don't actually know what that is. But at the end of the game, I know that the game will give you something if you rescue all the kittens. Plus, there's achievements tied to it. So, you know, that's a little thing you can find out about. There's also little narrative things throughout the levels that you can look at here that explain some things. So there, if you can find the cat, it just follows you around, and when you get to the end of the level, it will find its own way out, and it'll say you've rescued it, and then you can go on like that. These are not required. Like I said, I only got about a third of them. For a while, I was like, these things are not that hard to find. And then, yeah, they get really tricky to find after that, actually. So right now, you're seeing that the mechanics are pretty straightforward. I can go left and right, I can jump, and I can shoot water sideways. There are upgrades to your abilities in this that you will find. They're not optional. They're required to advance the story. And you get a lot of the most critical ones fairly early. So here's one of them. Super Fire Hose lets you do this. And you're going to have to do all of these things a lot in this game because some of the levels in this are very, very clever in terms of their design. And they are all like mini puzzles. Basically, you're going to have to... here's another one here. And this is really cool. Check this out. You go through here. Oh, backdraft. That's instantly what I thought of was that 1990s firefighting movie Backdraft when that happened.
Let me go, Bo. You go. We go.
Really cool effect. And you've got to remember to put that water shield over yourself before that kicks off, or yeah, it's going to go bad for you. So here's another cat. Like I said, these early levels, they're not too bad, but then it gets a little gnarly. So here we go. And in this as well, the game will get challenging in the sense that this game is a one-hit death scenario. So if you touch fire, and the cat has a physics freak out. You touch fire, yeah, you did. But the game has instant restart, and it never takes you back that far. It takes you back to the beginning of the particular sort of room that you were clearing, I guess you'd say, is the idea. So you're never thrown back that far, though some of the puzzle rooms later in the game are definitely a bit tricky in the sense that you will get taken back a few minutes. The thing that I like is that a lot of the levels in the game can be beaten in different ways. You ultimately have to accomplish the same goal in every level, but there's different orders in which you can attack it if you want. It isn't literally, there is a single, whoops, I pressed the wrong button there and I jumped off the ladder. Later in the game, you get an upgrade that allows you to shoot water off ladders, and I forgot I didn't have that anymore. Oops. But, the later levels, the trickier ones, you can actually beat in different ways. You don't have to approach it the exact same way. You can go, you'll have multiple points that you can choose to follow. So there are different ways to do it, and the game isn't going to lock you into a uber strict linear path the whole way through it, which I do really appreciate, actually. I think that's pretty cool. There's even a speedrun timer in the options, which I thought was kind of neat for people who want to do that, because you know people are going to try to speedrun this thing, and actually I think it will be pretty impressive when people start doing that. But the developer actually accommodated for that right out the gate, which I thought was pretty cool. And yeah, you're going to encounter different things as you go. You're going to encounter different types of challenges, different things that different obstacles that you have to do in order to get through. Like, for example, there's that button right there that's going to unlock a door. And there'll be, I'm not trying to be too spoilery here, but you're going to encounter other interesting things that are related to the story that are going to make, that are going to increase the challenge as things go through. I never got stuck on a room for a super long length of time for the most part. A couple of them, it took me a number of tries, but I never got stuck in the sense that I was standing around going, well, what the hell do I do here? Because that's why, even though I respect the heck out of puzzle games, I don't tend to play too many of them, because I have ADHD. I'm not super patient when it comes to puzzles if I can't find a solution quick. And if I start running into issues, I will tend to either look up a solution online or just go, screw this, and peace out. This game doesn't play like that. This game is, it was that I knew the solution to the puzzles that I was in front of. I was just having a hard time executing them properly, because they require some good reflexes and some good timing in certain spots that I was not ideal with. So that was where the real challenge came into it for me. But it was never so hard that I was just like ready to whip my controller and go, oh, the hell with this, I'm done. Like, it's challenging without being super frustrating like that. It struck a really good balance, I think. And yeah, I really like the way it looks. Like, you can tell this is, by some of the visuals in this, that this is running on the engine that powered Dead Cells. but it's very much a 16-bit aesthetic, both in terms of the visuals in particular. And here's an armor which allows you to take one extra hit. The visuals are very 16-bit. The sound has, like, the music has a lot of chip tunes in it, but also, I call it would be like Sega CD music. The music is too advanced to be just a straight 16-bit chiptune thing. It's a little more advanced than that. So it's more like more like Sega CD style music. Also, this will obviously, because of those visuals, will pretty much run on a potato, I think. So, it's always nice to see indie games that you can run, that you don't need a high-end gaming rig to run. That's always appreciated. I always like it when I can see that kind of thing. And yeah, it's the story in it. It's borrowed. I mean, it's straight up in the credits says what it's inspired by. The story is very much borrowed from internet culture. It's nothing revolutionary at all. You're not really going to remember it after it's done, but it's cool, and it does a really good job of providing the narrative hooks and framework for what it's trying to do here, for why you're in this weird base, for the strange things that you're running into, and all of those things. I think it does a really good job of doing that, and it's the kind of story that's good for this kind of thing. Now, I will say this game is quite short. I beat it in about 2.5 hours. There are people on the How Long to Beat website who have done runs of this in as little as 45 minutes. I think that's more of a speed run time, to be honest. Or you've got to be very lucky and pretty much never fail in order to beat this in 45 minutes. But it's priced appropriately for that too. This game is not expensive, and it's designed to be a one and done experience. I have a feeling that the developer who created this, who, like I said, was the creator of Dead Cells, probably was a little burned out after that game, after the complexity and depth of it. I mean, Dead Cells is an absolutely phenomenal title, but it's a lot more involved than this is. And I have a feeling that after maybe being a little burned out on that, he just wanted to make something a little simpler that was different and cool, and that people would enjoy. Yes, here we go. Now we got our dodge roll. You're going to need that a lot too. Case in point, there you go. And I think he just wanted to make something that was a little simpler and neat and different. And, well, he totally pulled it off. He made a firefighting game with a weird paranormal story to it. You don't see that every day. And I think I just really like this so much because, again, firefighting games are not that common. But in my long history of playing video games, I've just always found that the games that do try to tackle that always do cool things with it. And this is definitely no exception. It's been a lot of fun and very refreshing. And I'll be honest with you, in this era of, 9,000-hour AAA open worlds, which I don't dislike, I've been really enjoying the last few months a lot of these shorter experiences that have come out, which are fun, but are purposely designed to not be super long, and are designed to be either one and done, or maybe if they're a choices matter kind of game, one that you can play multiple times over if you want, but that you don't have to enjoy them. And I'm appreciating that. I've beaten a lot of games this year, a very large number of games, that I normally don't do, and that's because I played a lot of games that have been really cool but are purpose designed to be short, and are in many cases priced appropriately. Here's one of the scenarios you're going to have to deal with where there's things in the levels that will overheat and blow up if you don't take care of them quick enough. So it mixes things up a little bit like that. And this is a great experience. For the price, the full price of this game is only $10 US for probably 90 minutes to 3 hours, depending on how good you are, or longer if you want 100% the game and get get all the kittens and get the special ending and everything like that. I think that's a perfectly fair value. And when it's 90 minutes to 3 hours of cool mechanics and unique stories and something that's clearly crafted with love by someone who is exceptionally talented, I think that's a damn good ask for me. And I really love it when a game comes out of nowhere and surprises me, and that's totally what this one did. You know, when a game comes along that I don't even know about until it's right on top of us, and then it ends up being awesome, that's a very rare pleasure indeed, and that has been this for sure. I could see it not working for everyone because of the length, or just because they want a more advanced narrative out of it, or they may just still feel that it's too much of a puzzle game, and I understand that. But for me, this was just a fantastic little surprise, and one that I have been I was extremely happy I got the chance to play this, and I definitely recommend picking it up. I hope it's only on PC right now. I hope it does well enough that it will eventually get the opportunity to come to other devices, consoles, even mobile phones. I could see this. There's enough mechanics and timing required in this that I could see playing this on a touch device being a little gnarly, but it could be done. And yeah, just seeing this on consoles and things would be great as well. So I hope it does well enough that he has an opportunity to put it there. This engine, because of Dead Cells, this engine has already been running on consoles before, so that would be really, really cool. But yeah, this is a nice surprise. Definitely recommend giving it a look if it seems even remotely interesting to you. So that is Nuclear Blaze. I will say the name is a little bit weird relative to the subject matter. It's kind of strange why I chose that name. Maybe there was a particular reason for it, or maybe I missed something. I don't know. But it's been a great surprise to me, and a short but very, very enjoyable experience. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you liked what you saw here, as usual, please do all the YouTube things, like, subscribe, hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think of this. Do you know other interesting indie firefighting games that are either out or are coming that you think I should check out? Because like I said, I love this I guess you'd call it a genre. I just love firefighting based stuff, and there's actually some retro firefighting titles from the past that I do want to try out, but I haven't had a chance to yet. But I'd love to know what other ones are coming that may interest me as well. So do that for sure. And yeah, you can also follow me over at twitch.tv/pxabstraction for multiple variety streams a week, including a bunch of indie games that are better suited to the streaming format that you might not see here. We have a great community over there of really nice people, and we'd love to see you there. So thank you very much for watching, everybody, and I will see you on the next Indie Showcase. You folks have yourselves a good one. Take it easy, folks.